Yes, yo. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, guys. And how is everybody doing today? Hopefully, everybody is having a great day today. If today is your first time seeing me on your TV or your screen, my name is the Heartbeat of Nations, and please consider clicking on the subscribe button. And for my old subscribers, thank you for always coming back to watch my videos. Today, I have an interesting topic. Let me say a question. It's a question. This is not a topic. And the question is do African Americans hate black Africans? Do African Americans hate Africans? Let me put it that way. Because this was a question that was asked, and this was a lot of people make articles on this question. A lot of people make comments on this question, but I'm going to be asking you, my viewers, and I'm going to be reading some questions to you and some articles to you. So let's get it started. It said, Thomas said, do black Americans hate black Africans? Question mark, because it's a question, right? And he said, what a chilly question. That I wish I could just dismiss it for all the easy ways in which it ought to be dismissed. As overgeneralized it too broad, unfair, unkind, unimportant, dated, etc. I also would prefer to speak of my love of black African men. But this question is about hatred, and of hatred I shall speak. Whatever black hatred for which I must for the rest of my life contented comes from the haunting fact. The odor of racism on food within the inevitable metamorphosis from the social to the physiological, from the external to the internal, from being hated to self-hating, and so alias and at very turn. I keep reminding myself that I have no reason to hate myself, no reason to think that I am dirty and bad and criminal and sneaky and lazy and dumb and uncivilized too loud and too emotional and too ugly and waste. At 47 years old, I no longer really think about these things. The emotional residue of its socialization survived like the remission of intermediable virus. So hatred is not a matter of rational thought. It is rather an expression of things deeply embedded and automatically invoked from the repeated reinforcement of very dangerous false assumption and social practice. Practice which for me began in the 1970s and 1980s. Mandating of my Western Pennsylvania, I hope I pronounced that right, Pennsylvania upbringing. And so, for me now, the face of the black African male, regardless of where he originated, will forever be mirror to my own awkward confrontation with the active ways between self-love and self-loathing. And Michael said, I think African Americans are victims of same negative media portrayal of black Africans, just like anyone of any race in the US. But it does not have to be like it doesn't have to be like that anymore now that we have social media and many people here in Africa have internet-enabled cell phone. I understand the self-loathing part. It is indeed difficult to love yourself in a country that looks down on you because of your skin color. Never have I been put down because of my skin color, and all the people I met in the street look like me. That was from Michael. And Thomas again said, thanks for this. Yes, what you described was the biggest factor that made my first trip to Africa transformative and amazing to me. I was black and it meant nothing special one way or the other. It comforted and moved me. A phrase that prompted out of one of my journal accounts from Stone Town, Zanzibar, after describing a group of kids swimming at a harbor on a Sunday afternoon was this. and nowhere were there any white eyes to judge it good or bad. After reading this, I realized it was my U.S. America lens. Uchenna said, "Wow, such a beautiful writing. Habit to an odd question. You answer with such truth in it brings validity to the question." Say, thanks so much for kind word, much appreciated. And William said, "Not as much as an African American hate other African American, and since I am one, I know whereof I speak." And Function Agbalu, that's his name. Function Agbalu said, "What do Africa thinks of black from America? I would say Africa generally look down on African America, and it largely Hollywood fault. If you grow up in Lagos, for example, as far as what you are exposed about African American culture is gang warfare, teenage prostitution, drug addiction. It also does not help that history as a subject is only an elective for art students and not taught to art students. That's why most Nigerians in diaspora like Vonyon Oji can say this when Chamalange asked her if Nigeria do look down on African Americans. It's not like we are looking down. I can't speak for Africans. I can speak for Nigerians. Nigerians are proud people. If you are not in our preview, we don't see you, because I used to have this from African Americans. They don't know anything about me, but they will be like, you are from Africa. We are just always looking up. It's perspective, and so for us, we just want to do things better than everybody. Like my father used to say, if black man does it, do it better. If white man does it, surpass him. If the Asian man does it, finish him. What I was told growing up is that nobody is your competition except the person you are trying to surpass. It's like who is in your preview, you know. I feel like she did not answer the question fairly. She also sounded a bit elastic. Nigeria do not look down on African Americans. They think AAS are lazy and unconscious, ignoring their generation of struggle with slavery and racial segregations. And they also forget that AAA themselves fought for the level playing field the Nigerians enjoy in the US today. Also consider that African Americans generally look down on Africans too, thanks to Western ignorance. Most of what they know about Africa start and end with AIDS, polio, and child soldier. Very few of them are aware that Africa is usually the next big thing. Most African Americans I have met are usually surprised we have access to internet, and then there are those who are derogatory terms like booty scratcher. We look down on one another for the wrong reasons. And this person said, "You speak for yourself. Africa don't look down on them." And this guy said, "From the African living in America that I have talked to, they view black Americans as being lazy and unconscious. That does not seem to be too much love between these two groups. This makes me sick, and many Africans and African Americans are saying the same thing. It said most of them are from Nigeria. It's America whites that brainwashed into this belief. I heard that Nigerians in Nigeria are distinguished by this attitude. I am black, you know." John said, everyone of all races and color in the US, in most of the other nations in America, is taught from the time they emerge from the womb to look down on Africa but to blindly worship white Western European culture, and to sugarcoat and to justify the many atrocities that Westerners have inflicted on people all across the globe. I think that that has to do with the fact that many of these nations began as white settler states, which used enslaved black people to develop. So they have to vested interest in justifying their horrific origin by denigrating black people and Africans. A lot of black Africans who look down on black people from other parts of the world also seem to blindly worship white European culture as if they were never decolonized. The Chinese don't seem to have that problem, which is probably one of the reasons why they have raised so many millionaires out of poverty in a few decades, and why they are the ones bringing investment money to Africa instead of Africa being the investors in China and elsewhere. Lucy said the reason why Nigeria think about African America as lazy is because you have to work very hard in Nigeria even for the basic things. Yes, Nigeria has many rich people and people have access to technology as anywhere in the world, but the amount of people living in poverty is enormous. There is no safety network for your rainy days. If you lose job or get sick, you live from your savings or from the help of family. There is also no help for single parent. So having child out of marriage is a financial suicide. So if Nigeria is listening to how its ancestors were slaves for 200 years ago and how they traumatized from it, they will laugh. There was female and civil war 50 years ago in Biafra. There is Boko Haram on the north who kill and kidnap children for getting educations. Problem of African American looks small compared to problem of ordinary Nigerian. And this guy said, hey, blame white Hollywood for always painting us black, both African American and actual Africa, in a terrible life. But you will never see white America or Europe being painted in a bad life. Nope, most white people will riot. This guy said, except Eastern Europeans who are painted as megalomaniac criminals or starving population. I said, I still don't understand how Africa can look down on Africans or African American when they can't get their whole shit together in their home countries. And this guy replied him and said, like I mentioned, it's for the wrong reason. It's a product of how African Americans are portrayed on TV. Which is true, because for me, I remember growing up, right, like in the late 90s, early 2000s, because we used to listen to Western music a lot back then, especially the rap music, Tupac, Ja Rule, 50 Cent, Sean Paul, Sean Kisley, just name it. The way I used to dress, they dress like gangster, and when we watch African American movies, it's always shooting, it's always gang, it's always crime. So for honestly, for me, growing up, this is how I used to see African America. Men, this is how I see them. I always thought they were thug. They were, they were living this kind of drug lives. This is what I think, because this is what I always say on TV. And there's something about these white people. There's something you need to know about it. They know how to manipulate black, and it's very easy for them to do. Right? Like I said, this is what they portrayed on TV about African American to us. Then, if they come to Africa, they will go to the villages, take pictures of dirty places, dirty children. Then they will take it again to go and show African American in the US and tell you, look, this is how Africa look. You see, now they have turn our backs together. Now the white people have done that, right? Now they will tell the African American that, you see, you should be thanking us because we helped you. If we didn't bring you to the US, this is how you would have been properly living. So if African Americans see a typical African man in the US, he will use this kind of same mentality to look down on this person because of what the white people has portrayed to him about the Africans. And we on the other side, as an African, when we when we watch TVs, we see a lot of shit like that. Even the music videos, we see. For me, I used to feel a lot of African American women they are very disrespectful. They are prostitutes, because this is what I saw on TV growing up. But as time goes on, thanks to social media, when I started seeing things online, making my own research, my mind got exposed, and I was like, okay, this was all just to make black look bad on the face of everybody. And there are so many African Americans that are still brainwashed up to today. When you tell them about Africa, they're like, no, I don't want to listen. Africa is this, Africa is that. And most of these black people, they don't have, should I say culture? They don't have culture, let me put it that way. Because most of these African Americans, remove them from remove them from the US, they have nothing left. They can't trace their roots back to anywhere. The only place they can trace their roots back to as a black man or as a black woman that they are is Africa. Because once you are black, the first impression when somebody sees you is that you are from Africa. Take away their passport from them, the next thing they're going to throw you is Africa. Nobody care about your accent, right? But many African Americans fail to know this. They'll still be, I'm from United States, I'm from United States. And have you, for me, let me ask you this question. As an African American, have you asked yourself, why do the white people introduce DNA to you guys? Why did the white people introduce DNA to you guys? They are indirectly telling you to go back to Africa. It's a sign. It's like if I have a wife, right, and I have like 3 or 4 kids, and one day I decided to introduce DNA to my family, to my children. To do DNA on my children. It simply means that I don't trust my wife anymore. I don't feel comfortable living with my wife anymore. I don't even think these kids are mine. So I have to do a DNA test on them. And once I do DNA test on my case, I should be ready that I should know that my marriage, that's the end of my marriage, because I've given my wife the benefit of doubt. Even though if the kids come out even if the case happens to be mine. So this is exactly what the whites are doing to the black America right now. They're telling you want to do your DNA because nobody knows what they're planning for you guys in the future. You might just wake up one day and tell you, move. And if you don't want to go, it's going to be a big problem. Anyway, let me know what you think on the comment section. Like I said, my name still remains the Heartbeat of Nations. And if today is your first time watching my video, please consider clicking on the subscribe button. All right, and for my old subscribers, thank you for always coming back to watch my videos. It's still your boy, the Heartbeat of Nations. I will definitely see you on my next video. God bless Africa.